Hey, look, it worked.
Yay.
Hello and welcome to the Turbo Newscast for The End of the World, Friday,
End of the
December
world.
21st,
Special stream.
2012.
Special stream, which is comprised of the exact same things as last week.
Yes, we didn't stream yesterday because my power was kind of out for about 11 hours.
Not only that, but you ruined the joke I was gonna do for editing. So thanks a lot.
What was the joke?
I was gonna do the Majora's Mask like countdown thing,
Oh.
and I can't do that now because it's already the end of the world. Like,
Yeah. The
I
end of
suppose
the
I could,
world has indeed passed.
I suppose I could just throw in the clip where the moon crashes into the Earth, but it's
You
not
could.
it's not as it's not as epic.
Could.
Anyways,
Anyways,
anyways.
yes. So yeah, the end of the world, not quite all it was cracked up to be. If anything, it's just a little bit darker outside and maybe a
I
little bit
still have
colder.
power.
But yeah, everything still works now that the power's back.
It would have been odd if like the end of the world was just like everything gets color inverted and that was it.
Oh,
Actually, that would have been pretty amazing.
yeah, it would have. Just
Like
invert
all
the entire newscast. Hello and welcome to the newscast from the end of the world.
why don't these things happen?
I don't know. Why didn't I think of that before the show?
'Cause I didn't tell you before the show. I told you now.
Oh,
That's my
well,
problem. I tell you all the amazing things now instead of later,
yeah.
earlier.
Accidentally kicked my gamepad. That would have been bad. Okay. Well, if you couldn't tell, the end of the world actually didn't happen, and if you needed me to tell you that, you might want to go read a book or something.
Yeah,
Just
when is the
saying.
next end of the world? Is that like 2040?
I don't know.
I think there's supposed to be like an asteroid that comes near Earth in 2040, something like
Yesterday.
that.
Um,
Yesterday, I don't know.
but yes, the end of the world didn't quite happen.
Disappointing.
What
Try
did
harder
happen,
next
though,
time.
apparently, the zombie apocalypse. Um, the War Z launched on Steam.
Yay.
It wasn't all that nice of a launch though. It
As it never is.
it no, it was a terrible, terrible launch. In fact, the War Z has indeed been removed from Steam
That's remarkable.
in 48 hours.
That is incredibly fast
Yeah.
to be taken down.
Oh, well, in case you're wondering why, the uh the game launched early on in the week. I think the 18th. And the game is we've covered it a couple of times, once or twice at least.
Hmm.
Early on in its development cycle, and it looked really kind of cool. It was like Daisy, except MMO.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't quite live up to the advertising on this one. Um, for because players began to notice shortly after the Steam launch certain elements of the description on the Steam page weren't exactly true. For
They lied
instance,
to me.
yeah, they didn't actually advertise that, hey guys, hang on, this is only an alpha build, even though Hammerpoint Interactive had said elsewhere that yes, it was indeed an alpha build. Alpha build. They also advertised that there are that there were private servers. Great start today. First story, and I'm already fucking up my words.
It is English, and therefore is pretty difficult to use.
Yeah, they also advertised that there were private servers available to play in, with up to 100 people able to play in the same server at once. Neither of those are true. Um, yeah, it was, in fact, there was enough outcry because they were, fans were going to the, forums and complaining, and it seems like moderators, were taking down those posts as well. Uh, So
Way to censor your audience.
Valve issued a statement to Kotaku noting, quote, "From time to time, a mistake can be made, and one was made by prematurely issuing a copy of 4Z for sale via Steam," unquote. And Valve is actually offering refunds for anyone who's bought the game over Steam.
I would hope so.
Yeah, which I'm kind of surprised.
We kind of hope so.
Yeah.
So
Although
whose fault was this? Was it
it was
Hammer?
all Hammerpoint Interactive slash Sergei Titov. There, it was
But was
all
it?
the
It wasn't
development's
Valve's
fault.
fault at all. They were told to put it on, and they did.
Yeah, because they have games that are in alpha and beta stages of release on the store. Towns is one of them.
They're just advertised as such, right?
Yeah, as long as you note in the description, hey guys, this is still in alpha. Actually, I'm not sure if this is in if they have any alpha games, but I know Towns is at least in beta.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, as long as you make it clear to your customers on Steam, this is not the finished product that you're getting right now. You are getting a development copy. Valve is fine with it. As long as your customers
As long
know,
as it's noted.
yes, as long as you make it very clear what you are getting, as long as you're not falsely advertising what you're selling.
So who at Hammer was like, "Hey, you know what? Be great if we put this out now, so everyone can get pissed off at us and not care about the game anymore." Do you think that's how the meeting went? I assume it
Well,
is.
I hope it wasn't the same meeting as the meeting where they determined, hey guys, you know what would be great for our assets? Let's just steal some shit from The Walking Dead and hope that no one notices. Yeah, some of the art assets from Days or from War Z, um, they seem to be ripoffs of screens from The Walking Dead, AMC's show that I still haven't watched, but really need to start watching because everyone loves it, and I haven't even started watching it. But yeah, look at that. Now, if you're not spotting the similarities yet, you've got the two pictures here, but that may not be convincing enough for you. So, we also have a mock-up of both of them actually mashed together. They fit seamlessly, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you try a little bit harder to be subtle there?
Try a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Although, you can't really blame them for not trying. It is the same guys who did Big Rigs.
Mm.
The worst game of all times. And one that I really, really want to play.
Just because it's the worst game of all time.
Exactly.
Like, come on, people. Like, gotta at least try a little bit harder to be subtle about it. Like, if you're gonna steal material just outright, you could put a coat of paint over it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, technically that is what they did. They put a coat of paint over it, and that's it.
And that's it. I don't know. Cut off their heads or something. I don't know. They're zombies. They can do anything.
Well, yeah, Yusuke, I have to agree. Depending on how much it was. If it was like full retail price, like $50, I wouldn't know, and I
No,
wouldn't
no,
touch
no.
that with a 10-foot pole. But if it was like $5, yeah, sure. I'll spend $5 on big rigs. That's entertaining enough for $5.
Stream that.
I'll get my
Uh,
$5 worth out of big rigs.
Go for it.
But well, yeah, I would go for big rigs, but I would not go for SimCity,
Oh,
the new one,
but I
at
like
least.
SimCity.
I was really looking forward to SimCity. I mean, EA, but SimCity, but EA, and Origin, but SimCity,
Ah, ah.
but online only DRM, but
Oh,
fucking SimCity.
I, it's too hard to choose.
I'm not going to be getting SimCity unless it's not exactly the most legal of means. Um, but yeah, they had the developers of SimCity had an AMA last Friday on Reddit and asked me anything, or probably in this case, ask me almost anything, ask us almost anything. Um,
Except things we don't want to hear.
and pretty much it just devolved into everyone bitching about why is it online only? It's fucking SimCity.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's SimCity. It's not like it's a multiplayer title. I mean, yes, it has
No,
multiplayer aspects. Give it a multiplayer mode. Give me the option to play it offline. Why the fuck will you not let me do this? I don't understand this DRM.
this is not TF2 here.
Even well, no, technically you can't, but yes, Blizzard does do. Blizzard does with Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is also online only. But why?
Well, if you live in Kansas City, this is no problem.
We'll get there. Don't worry, we're getting
Uh,
there.
so why EA?
Because fuck you. That's really just
Give
it.
us your money and fuck you.
Yeah. Speaking of give us your money though, Valve has introduced Steam game guides. So, you know how they've been working on a bunch of a bunch of community features. Like they've revamped the entire community
Hmm.
system, just everything.
Yeah.
Now, if you opt into the Steam community beta, you will also have access to Steam game guides, where you can create or read other guides, and you can upload and insert images or use screenshots that you've taken. You can insert YouTube videos, add friends to help you write the guide, which is convenient because then you don't have to go check out Google
It's like
Docs and do it that
Wikipedia
way.
for games.
It's like GameFAQs.
No, it's Wikipedia for games.
No, I'm pretty sure it's more like GameFAQs except on Valve or on Steam.
Whatever, same difference.
But yeah, it's just a little short niblet here, but
Niblet.
niblet. I
I
don't know
like
what that
that
word
word.
means, or even if
I
it
don't
is
know
a
either,
word.
but it's amazing.
It really is.
It doesn't matter what it means. Ugh.
uh, well,
So now we've gone to talk about niblets.
yeah. Now that we've gone to talk about words that may or may not actually exist.
Let's continue on.
Oh, let's go to
Hey,
companies that may or may not exist.
we never claimed that we were good English,
Yeah.
so
Well, I'm good enough English to make up words. Just not enough to make up their definitions as well.
it's not enough good enough to make up real words.
Oh, well, yes. Speaking of things that may or may not exist, THQ has filed for bankruptcy. Yes, THQ, despite their last pushes with the Humble Indie Bundle, all of that, they just couldn't stay alive anymore.
They
They
didn't stay
have indeed
alive.
filed for bankruptcy. But it isn't all bad news. Ubisoft has said that they are looking to potentially take over THQ.
But screw Ubisoft.
You have to admit, better Ubisoft than EA.
Point.
Or better Ubisoft
Yeah.
than...
Whoever else exists. Well,
They're about the same, except Ubisoft doesn't have as amazing of a reputation.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, if I say EA, like, you just stop.
Everyone,
You just ignore me.
everyone just face palms.
Yeah. If I say
You say,
Ubisoft, you'll at least listen for a little bit.
someone's like, okay, I can handle this for a little bit.
Yeah.
What? Don't you want to play NFL 9852?
Fuck them. I know
Since they
there's a
own
market for those fucking sports games, but it's retarded.
since they own the exclusive market, the exclusive rights to the players. You know,
Because they're intellectual property.
bull crap. It's like if my name was intellectual property.
Alright, well, I don't really know how to transition into this next one.
We could just stop.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Um... Well, now that I think about it, I could have transitioned into it, but, yeah, no, never mind. Kickstarter. Kickstarter, Kickstarter, Kickstarter. Black Isle... Black Isle is a company that's, well, a producer, a studio, there we go. Black Isle is a studio that's,
Why is that the greatest title for
it's
an article ever?
got an interesting strategy going.
Yeah.
Black Isle needs a Kickstarter to kickstart a Kickstarter.
The
Yeah.
KKK.
And
Screw this.
it's exactly, well, no, it's probably not exactly what you're thinking. You're probably wondering what in the fuck. What the fuck actually is they are having a Kickstarter. It's not actually a Kickstarter, but it's on their own site, which looks ridiculously close to Kickstarter. In fact, let me see. Yep, there we go. You've got the milestones right here in the top right. Okay, let me unblock Flash. That'll help. You've got the donator perks in the right side. You've got the description down in the bottom left, video starting up at the top. It looks like a Kickstarter. And if they changed the color schemes, you could almost be fooled. But no. What their Kickstarter is for is for them to become a studio. And then, once they have become a studio, they're going to have another Kickstarter to actually make a game.
Seems like a long plan.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to do the game first to then become a studio? I feel like that would bounce you to studio status a lot easier than to just become a studio. It gives you some kind of rep.
Some people like being paid while they work, not after.
I suppose,
I just like being paid, period.
regardless of
Yeah,
if you work or
that doesn't
not.
happen very often on this show, so anytime we make money for it, it's just awesome. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, they do have a plan for a game, so it's not just, hey, you guys should help us become a studio, because, yeah.
because studio.
But no, they do have an idea for a game.
Hair Simulator 2012?
No. It's the Fallout MMO that they were working on, but drastically reworked since they have lost the IP to Bethesda.
I still want Hair Simulator 2012 MMO.
Why?
Why not? Don't you want the greatest video game ever made? Then you can replicate your hair. And your eyebrows.
Oh no, sorry, I misread. No, it's like it looks like it's well, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a straight ripoff of Interplays. No, their game plan is Project V13, which is a post-apocalyptic strategy RPG about founding a colony, gathering resources, and repelling enemy forces.
Gee, I
V13,
wonder where I've heard that
yeah,
plot before.
V13 is the name of the Fallout MMO Interplay was working on. So, yeah. If Interplay... Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, never mind. But yeah, it's, yeah.
Don't you find it kind of interesting that video games have like their fads?
Yeah.
I always find it interesting. Like in the 90s, it was like platforming, and now it's zombies.
Yeah, now it's zombies slash post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic. It's just fascinating.
Yep. What was it before zombies post-apocalyptic?
Um, well, it's been modern shooters for like ever.
Oh yeah, modern shooters. Hell, it's been modern shooters since it's still modern shooters, just now
I
it's
guess it's
modern
the only
shooters
genre
plus
that
zombies.
transcended time.
What do you think it'll be next?
Um, Hair simulators. No. I don't. I guess that's a good question. You know, it might actually go back to RPGs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
I mean,
someone
those
big,
are really big in like the 80s and
yeah,
early 90s, and now they might actually come back.
yeah, if someone like Bethesda or if even someone like EA, if someone big came out and did something really different with an RPG, I could see
Hmm.
that becoming the new fad.
Though first-person shooters will never ever go away.
No, they won't. And in
So,
fact, first-person shooters.
there's your segue.
Yeah. Well, first-person
Embezzling.
shooters, they've merged with like every genre. first-person shooter RPG, Fallout, first-person shooter platformer.
Real? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is. I
Half-Life?
just don't remember what.
Wouldn't Half-Life be one of those?
Yeah, kind of. First-person shooter puzzle game, Portal.
Portal.
First-person shooter MMO, Star Wars Battlefront Online. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Yes, that's right. Slant Six has has leaked some Star Wars Battlefront Online concept art.
This no, you know what? To be honest, this could be concept art for anything Star Wars. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not like concrete proof of an online MMO for
Well, except for the
first-person
first one.
shooting. I guess.
The very top one is kind of Star Wars Battlefront Online. But yeah, the Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City developer, Slant Six, was apparently working on a Star Wars Battlefront Online back in 2010 for Xbox 360 and Xbox.
Xbox.
So how I screwed that one up is I said Xbox 360, but I read PlayStation 3 because that was the first one on the list. And then I looked away and went back to the list, and I knew I had to read the second one. The second one was Xbox 360.
I won't blame you.
But
Why do
no,
you
it was
why do you
it's
keep
for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
why do you keep picking articles that are just gonna make me depressed?
Oh, because
Because I
I
really
hate you.
want this now.
I know.
You just keep doing this. This is like the third time in like a month
I
you've done this to
imagine
me.
I imagine that if it had if it had actually been a thing, I imagine it would kind of have been like Planet Side 2 at release.
Well, yeah, I know the company's not very good at making games. I mean, Raccoon City was pretty terrible, but
I never played it, luckily.
I think I got like a 63 or something
Jeez.
Metascore.
Yeah, that
My friends played and they're just like, and they
I've
love
heard
Resident
bad
Evil.
things.
So,
But yeah,
but I would have liked to have played online Star Wars Battlefront if it had not been made by the studio, instead someone else.
shit, I would have even have liked to have played Star Wars Battlefront Online by Slant 6. Because you know what? Fuck it. A new Star Wars Battlefront game.
Well, but then it could have its reputation crushed. You see, Battlefront
But
2 was
Star Wars
amazing.
Battlefront.
I know, but you gotta remember that these things carry over to the future, and you don't want to screw up your Battlefront image.
Yeah, with the astounding success of of Knights or not Knights of the Old Republic, just Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm
With
sure there's gonna be new Star Wars IPs very soon.
with the astounding failure of like, isn't it free to play now?
Yeah, free to play, but pay to do anything useful.
See, they need all of the MMOs need to go in the way of Guild Wars too.
Eh, it's not a model for everyone, for every game. Honestly, um, PlanetSide 2 is better as a free-to-play title that you pretty much have to pay to get things, unless you feel like playing tens of thousands of hours.
Which you might.
It's better that way than pay $50 up front and then you can play for however the fuck long you want. That just doesn't work for some games. Although I will admit it probably would work for World of Warcraft, stuff like that. And honestly, I'm kind of curious. What would World of Warcraft be like if that were their model.
Um, as in how? What do you mean?
Instead of the subscription based, what if they adopted a Guild Wars 2 model? You buy the product and then you can play for forever.
I imagine there would be still a lot more people playing it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have as many people defecting. Well, no, you probably would, but they'd come back
Yeah,
easier.
the thing is that they might not be as devoted players, but they would still play occasionally.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you never know. Guild Wars 2 has its insanely devoted players.
well, yeah, that's true, but
Hell, Guild Wars probably still does.
you got to remember that some people do get bored of MMO,
Oh
regardless of
no,
how
I
good or
know.
bad it is. So I don't know. I mean, if that model had been for World of Warcraft, I would still play it occasionally. I would
Yeah.
have bought it and still played it occasionally because I enjoyed some of the aspects of it. I just didn't like paying $15 a month for something I played, once or twice a week.
Yeah, that's really kind of the same vibe I got out of it when I tried it. Just it's decent.
I had fun, but it was something I wanted to do on occasion.
Yeah, it's not something I'd play like a job.
No, no, some people do that, so
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
Anyways, on that awesome
yeah.
MMO tangent,
So, for our last story of part 1 of section 1, we're going to venture over to piracy territory,
gonna walk over to part two already.
where we have positive news for once.
Really?
Yeah. Well, at least not news that'll make you punch yourself in the face.
So we have neutral news,
Yeah.
basically.
We have news that won't make you want to stab someone in the neck. Um, Australian ISP, IINet, has walked out of piracy talks, saying, "We're not the internet police." Leading Australian ISP, IINet, has pulled out of negotiations to create a warning notice scheme aimed at reducing online piracy. They were the ISP that was sued by Hollywood after refusing to help chase down alleged infringers, saying that they can't make any progress with rights holders if they don't make their content freely available at a reasonable price. They add that holding extra data on customers' habits is inappropriate and also not their responsibility. I like them! And frankly, aside from the everything and its cousin wants to kill you, I kind of want to go to Australia now because of this.
As long as we don't use Apple Maps, we're fine. Um, yeah. Well, the thing with piracy is that it's kind of debated on how much intellectual property should um, be protected.
Yeah,
And so it's a fine line because you do want property to be protected, but at the same time, if it's protected too much, then you can't really be creative anymore because you're worried about all the time being sued or something.
yeah,
So piracy is going to happen regardless of anything you do ever.
yeah,
Um, People will find ways to do it regardless, and really, any attempts to control piracy will more likely end up harming people that aren't doing piracy at all than to actually
hmm
attack people that are doing piracy. You will catch some, but the majority of those you catch will probably have nothing really to do with piracy at all.
yeah. Or
So,
yeah, you won't be catching the big offenders.
no, you'll be catching someone who did it once
Yeah,
and
you'll be
didn't even
catching the
know they were
people who
doing
don't
it,
know better, or
who don't know better, who didn't even know they were doing it.
yeah,
And
at most.
so that's my opinion anyways.
I'm pretty sure I've said my opinion over the course of this show somehow. So, I
Your
won't
opinion,
reiterate it
like your
for
opinion
now,
matters to the people. They don't
because yours
care.
does.
Hey, I'm a political scientist. I know all about this stuff.
Okay.
It makes me a more no, it doesn't. But it makes me Zella, and that's all that matters.
Yep. That is indeed all that matters. Alright.
Uh,
We'll be back in just a sec. Meanwhile, enjoy this title card.